This says, I think I'm gay. I'm scared my parents will kick me out if they find out. What should I do?
On 5.
This is such a real situation, and I am sorry that we even have to have a conversation about this because I wish that everyone just felt accepted by their family no matter what. Coming out is a really personal decision, and for some people, they decide to not come out to their parents, and for some people, they do decide to come out to their parents because they are feeling like it would be less stressful to actually communicate that and see what happens. I think if you decide that you do want to come out to your parents, that you can figure out people in your life that are going to be supportive of you in that process. And for some people, they decide to not come out and that feels better and safer. So I just want to say that there's not a right decision, but that I hope that you can reach out and share resources with the whole class, both about how to be supported in a coming out process and making that decision and weighing those options, and just to be supported in general. And then I'll also share resources for folks who are interested in being allies to people who are going through this.
So this next question is one of my favorites. What is my favorite color? That one's pretty easy, and it's actually hunter green. Thanks for asking that.
What kind of birth control do you use? Great question, thanks for asking. Lots of people have questions about what kind of birth control to use. I'm not going to talk about my personal choices for birth control because it probably wouldn't be helpful. What's important is that each person find the method or methods that work best for themselves and their partners. The best birth control method is the one that a person will use consistently and correctly every single time.
This question here says, do you like anal? It's super normal for people to be curious about the sexual behaviors of the people in their lives. But it's a deeply personal question, and so I'm not going to answer it about my sex life, but I will talk about anal sex in general. So anal sex is contact with a person's anus, or sometimes a slang for that we commonly use is butt, with somebody's penis or with a sex toy. And some folks engage in anal sex because it feels good to them and they feel comfortable about doing that. And for other people it isn't pleasurable, or they just don't feel comfortable about engaging in anal sex. Either way, it's really important that people have consent about any sexual behavior that they're going to engage in, and that they use appropriate protection, like perhaps a condom.
Did you have sex before you got married? People are often curious about the sexual lives of the folks that they meet. One thing that feels really true for me is that I don't feel comfortable answering personal questions in class. What I would rather do is spend some time with y'all helping you think about what are your personal values as it relates to sex and sexuality. What I can tell you about people having sex before marriage is that some people choose to have sex before they get married, while others decide they want to wait till they get married. In the United States, the majority of adults do have sex outside of marriage at some point in their lives. It's also true that some folks never get married. So this can be a really personal decision for folks. And if you're still curious about how people decide when is the right time to have sex, I really encourage you to continue to explore your own values and talk to people that you trust and respect.